Madam Ace, Jacqui, is it?
Yes, it is.
Thank you very much for allowing us to come into your very busy space. When I saw the campaign, it came out as a very good thing, because from the media that I come from, I've heard a lot about the POPs that you have taken away from the poor. But I'm going to let you explain the video that's on TikTok that people may not understand, and what is the application process and how does it work. Please take it.
So I think there is a lot of people that don't understand the POP. And one of the things why people think that it has been taken away is because the POP lapses after 2 years. So you qualify, then you have POP for 2 years, and then after 2 years you have to apply again. And I think it's that part where people think the POP went away because they had to reapply. So it's very important that people know that even if you apply now, in 2 years' time you're going to have to apply again. So it's not something that's automatically for life. And this is done specifically because we want South Africa to get better, and we want people to get jobs and to get out of the situations where they are in. So we go and hope that after 2 years you're in a better space and you can start paying. If you can't, you apply again and you get your POP again. But we don't want people forever to be in the situations where they are now. So when you apply for POP, everybody across the city, there's no specific areas that qualifies. There's no people that are disqualified because of the value of their homes or where they live or the color of their skin. Everybody in the city can qualify for POP if they meet the minimum requirements. So what you need in order to qualify is you need to be 18 years of age. You need to be the owner of the property where you live in, and you need to earn less than 2 SASSA grants. So anybody who lives off a SASSA grant, or anybody who even lives off 2 SASSA grants, is able to qualify for that. And they can then go to the City of Tshwane offices and apply. The people there will tell them exactly what is needed. And then there is an assessment that is done, because unfortunately we see that a lot of people are misusing the POP. And the POP is supposed to be there for people who can't afford their services. We can't be spending POP money on people who are trying to misuse it, or people who can afford but they don't want to pay. And then we spend so much money in helping these people that don't want to pay that we can't help those who really need it. So there is an investigation that then happens. The social services come out. They look at your circumstances, and then your POP is approved, and you then get your free basket of services. So you get 100 units of electricity for free and 12 kiloliters of water, and you also don't pay for your rates and taxes or waste.
So the POP, this indigent program, it's not given to a person; it's given to a household.
It's given to the owner of the household.
Owner of the household.
Yes.
So that account could have rebates in what water, electricity, expenditure. Yeah. Because then I want you to come and give examples of misuse.
Okay, so we've got water, and you'll get 12 kiloliters of water, 100 units of electricity. You don't pay for rates and taxes, and you don't pay for your waste removal. So that's what the POP package is. You can, if you use more electricity, you'll get a prepaid meter, and you'll be able to buy more electricity for maybe if you do have extra cash, then you can buy more electricity if you go over that, or you can buy more water if you go over that. But you get the 100 units of electricity for free and the 12 kiloliters of water.
Okay, the misuse, examples of misuse.
So we have people that they get their SASSA grant, and then they have a house, which maybe they inherited from somebody, or maybe earlier in their life they had enough money to buy the house. So now they get their SASSA grant, but then they rent out that house to other people. Oh. So other people live in the house. So now I make money from the house, and I'm even getting the services for free.
Oh,
and that's not fair. Yes, that is not fair.
And those misuses, I I'm more easier call it abuse.
Yes.
So you are investigating it. Have you found people, and what are the repercussions?
We then take the services away. We take the free services away because it's unfair. You have a house, somebody pays you for the water and electricity, and you get it for free from the municipality. Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to the program. So the program is people apply.
Yes.
And you've got this board, or is the committee that assesses you. What do you call that, and what are they looking for?
Okay, so it is social services, and they come out to just see that the information that you wrote on the paper is true. That's the only thing that they come out and look for. So they come out and see, do you have backyard dwellers? Because if you have backyard dwellers that are paying you, then you won't qualify for the POP. So they just come in and look at things like that. So they don't look at the size of your house or anything else. They just look at, do you have other people living there that is paying you, or maybe you're running a business from the property, So they just look if those things are there.
Does this involve physical checkups?
It does sometimes involve a physical checkup, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and then you say it takes 2 years.
So
it lapses after 2 years.
It lapses after 2 years, yeah. So after 2 years, you have to reapply.
What is the difference between what you are having and what the ANC government had?
We didn't change a lot on the POP. There's a lot of things that we changed when we came into government, but the POP is something that we did not change a lot. It's the same, except that in the city of Tshwane, we actually offer the most amount of free services. So in other municipalities, for example, in Johannesburg and Ekurhuleni, you only get 50 units of electricity and 6 kiloliters of water. We offer 100 units of electricity and 12 kiloliters of water. So what we offer is more than what the ANC nationally says has to be offered.
Where does this narrative that says you have taken the POP away from the poor people of Tshwane, where does it come from? What are the differences? Why was it expiring during that time? It's no longer expiring. I want to give you an opportunity to unpack this, because that narrative is out there,
yes.
And if it's not challenged, it's going to be believed. So I want to understand.
Look, so it's a horrible political narrative. That's
Okay.
what it is that you have got a political party that understands that they're on their way out. They understand that people aren't going to vote for them again, and now they start spreading things that aren't true. So the POP has always been there. It has never been taken away. The only thing is that people need to remember to apply after every 2 years.
Okay, you've got these numbers. How many people were on your indigent program? Maybe 2016 is when they lost power, and then around now, because they say you guys are using bureaucratic red tape to stop people from accessing the indigent program benefits.
So
you've got numbers maybe to compare?
I don't have the exact numbers, but what we need to know, what the DA did stop, and I will stand with that decision always. We did stop the misuse, and we did stop the abuse. So we did stop giving poorest of the poor services to people who are not the poorest of the poor. And that we did stop. And that is a decision that I'm proud of, the decision that I will stand by. Because as a country, we must stop abusing the poor. And we must stop abusing things that are there as a safety net for the poor, and things that help the poor. But then we have people who try and see it as an opportunity to enrich themselves. And that is something that we need to stop. And I believe there's a lot of people that are mad with us about that. And the narrative comes from them. But that is a decision that I'm proud of, and I'm proud of the decision that our government took to say that we are going to stop people who misuse. We stop also enriching tenderpreneurs. We've made decisions when it comes to tender processes to stop enriching tenderpreneurs and bring things to be real empowerment. So we, as a municipality, we look at saying, number one, when we come to tenders, which is not something that you want to talk about, but in any case, we say that the most important is can you deliver the services? Because if you can deliver the services and you are the best person for the job, then we benefit the people of the city the most.
Okay. So is that in a way saying that no BE qualifications are needed, capacity to deliver?
No, BE is a law in South Africa, so we do look at BE, but we also at the same point value the ability to be able to deliver the services.
No, I thought.
No.
Okay, so going back to that list, so there's an allegation that by June 2023, you put in 2,500 people who are not qualified. I don't know if you know about this narrative. I got these questions from my audience. 2,500 indigent people on your list, and they do not qualify. And I don't know what. Do you know anything about that?
I don't know anything about that. What I do know is that the ANC national government wrote to us. They wrote to National Treasury, wrote to the city of Tshwane and said to us, we must make our indigent services less. So they want us to make our indigent services less, the national government.
We don't understand.
And we said to them, no. So that might be what people are talking about, because there was a requirement from National Treasury to say that we must minimize our indigent services. And the government in Tshwane said no.
Wait, you are saying the ANC national government uses their powers with institutions to dictate to you that what you are giving to the poor is too much, reduce it.
Yes, that's exactly what they did.
Okay.
And we then said no.
And you said no.
Yes.
Okay. So here's another question. They say Tshwane owes Eskom 5 billion, and you are the biggest owner in metros at Eskom. And these are, of course, I want to link it to Tshwane Tima, the intervention that you've come up with. Is it true that you are the biggest at 5 billion are the biggest
So it's not 5 billion. The city does not owe Tshwane 5 billion. At the end of Feb, it was just under 3 billion. I think it was 2.8 if I remember correctly. So the 5 billion amount is not true. And the city has a working relationship with Eskom for us to pay that the debt off, and we are keeping to that. Again, unlike Johannesburg, who is now also being taken to court by Eskom, but something that the media decided not to take up. But we are doing Tshwane Tima for 2 reasons. The first one is we need to be able to pay our debt. Well, for 3 reasons. The first one is we need to be able to pay our debtors. As a municipality, we have to be able to do that. Then we also need to be able to deliver better services. Now, when the ANC put the city under administration in 2020, within 8 months, they left us with 4 billion rand deficit. Now, that's basically like, I wake up in the morning and I need to be able to feed my family, but I've got minus 100 rand in my wallet is empty, and I owe my brother 100 rand. That's basically, where we were left. So we need to do Tshwane Tima so that we can pay our brother back and feed our families. So that's where we are. But we also believe that if you use and you do not pay, then your services needs to be cut. People can take responsibility of their debt, so they can say that I can't pay, so I'm applying for POP. That's a responsible thing to do. A responsible thing is to say, I can't pay, I'm going to apply for the free services. And then you won't get cut. Or you can say, I've got a lot of debt, I can't pay it, I don't know how to pay it. Then you can come to us and we can look at how we can restructure and how we can maybe write off some of your debt. That's something that the city can do. Or you can come and make a payment arrangement. So there's options that people can do if you can't afford. It's not a situation of we just saying, you need to pay or you don't get any services. So there's options that people can take. But if you do not do that and you continue to use your electricity, then we do have to cut you off. Because it's also unfair to those people who do pay, if you just use and you don't pay.
So what is the difference between Tshwane Tima on those who owe and Tshwane Tima to those who have illegally made connections? Is it the same thing, parallel thing? Because at the end, I want to check the numbers. How well do you know that it's working, and how much have you collected, and who are the culprits?
So there is a very big culture in the city of people who steal electricity.
Okay.
It is across the city, and we see two types of this. We see it, people who don't have electricity connections at all because, they live in informal areas that hasn't been formalized yet. They don't have electricity connections, so they connect illegally. That we see. But what we also see is people who have got homes, they've got title deeds, they've got electricity connections into their homes, but then they bridge their meters. And that bridging of meters we see in every place across the city. You can go to any street in the city and we will find at least one meter that has been bridged. It doesn't matter how rich the suburb is, it doesn't matter how poor the suburb is, all everywhere we see this. So Tshwane Yatima is, we cut off people who don't pay, but then 9% of 90% of the time we come to your house to come and cut you off because you don't pay, and then we find that you've actually bridged your meter.
Oh.
Yes. So we can't split illegal connections from Tshwane Yatima.
Yes.
The two has become very, very much the same.
Okay,
Yeah.
the numbers?
So our collections, because when we get there, we see, that there's illegal connections. The collections has not become more in the way that we wanted it to become. But what we are doing now is, because all of those people who have been stealing electricity, and we are saying, we remove that and we start billing you. We have in March overbilled our electricity by 500 million. So we billed electricity more, 500 million rand more in 1 month than what we knew we had, and that's what we knew we can bill. And that we're starting to get in now from April and May. So we didn't realize when we started Tshwane Yatima the amount of illegal connections that there is.
Okay.
So that's where our big focus is now.
And they're talking about avenues that you guys have to generate to make the city well. What other things, maybe similar to Tshwane Yatima, have you seen improvement in raising the budget?
Okay, so we are. We also, on the one hand, we're looking at getting more money into the city, by Tshwane Yatima. On the other hand, what we also need to do is we need to be more responsible when we spend our money. We need to make better decisions when we spend our money, and that's why we are using less contractors and more of our internal people, so that we don't pay as much out. So it's a balance. It's not only getting more in, but it's also spending less that we're doing. Yeah.
Okay. Anything that you think you wanted to say in this interview you could not get a chance?
No, not really. I think we've covered most of it. I just want to put a call out to people to say that the city is open. We are inviting. We've actually had a lot of billing days where we even go out into communities, and we've got our people sitting in communities to say, come to us, come and talk with us, let's fix your account queries, let's help you apply for POP. So we're asking people to also look out for those, because we understand sometimes it's far to get to a City of Tshwane call center. So we're coming into the communities as well to be closer, because we want to have a city where it's open to people, and where we can have good relationships with people. So that when we have to then come down with the strong arm of the law coming to remove your illegal connection or a cut off of your electricity, we know that to those who are responsible people in the city, we have good relationships with them.
One last question. Last week, Kgosi Mahepa was opening a case. Yes, lots of documents. He said the mayor, the executive mayor, he said a lot of complicated things. Did you understand what he was talking about?
Yeah,
and was the case ever opened?
I think Kgosi opened the case, but Kgosi was so dear Makari himself. So what he opened the case for is he said that there was a VAT fraud with SARS. Okay.
What does that mean?
So he says that we owe SARS money and we try to hide it from SARS. What Kgosi did not say is it was the ANC government pre-2016 that was hiding from SARS that they owe money.
Okay.
And that we uncovered it and then started paying SARS. So we welcome the investigation because it's just going to prove that it was, when he was still in Tshwane, it was the ANC that was hiding this SARS money, and the DA actually started paying it back.
So the case is open.
The case is
against
open
the mayor in his personal capacity or the city?
Against the mayor in his personal capacity and the city manager, but we're very confident that the real culprits will be found, which is not the mayor or the city manager.
Thank you very much, Ms. Uys.
Thank you.
Thank you.